What's going on, Military Cashflow family? Today we got a new episode, and this episode we're going to kind of be talking about myself, right? So I'm going to be talking all about me and what's going on with my real estate journey. I'm adding a new facet to the real estate side. As you guys know, I've been doing buy and hold for a while. I've done all types of different buy and hold deals, right? And I'm also a licensed realtor, and now I'm going back into wholesaling. I say going back into wholesaling because I was doing it for a while I was stationed at Fort Drum, and before I PCS'd and deployed or went to Germany and Poland. And things kind of I wasn't able to keep up the process because I was doing it by myself while I was in New York. So it was a little bit tougher for me. And then when I left, when I went overseas and then came back, it wasn't working out for me. Right. So here comes round two. And I'm not ashamed to say it, everybody fails every now and again, or you might have to hit a roadblock, right? And you have to just keep going, right? You might have to put it on pause for a little bit, then come back to it. So this is round two for me. Back into wholesaling. And if you don't know what wholesaling is, all it is assigning a contract, right? So basically you can put a home under contract with a seller for one price. Let's say it's $100,000, and then I can sell that contract for $100,000 because I have equitable interest in that property, right? The contract's worth $100,000 to buy that property. I can then sell that contract to a buyer who maybe wants to flip or maybe wants to do whatever they want to with the home, can sell that contract on and receive an assignment fee. Let's say that contract I'm going to sell to the new buyer is $105,000. So I would pocket that $5,000 at closing. If that didn't really make sense, go ahead and just Google wholesaling. We got a bunch of different episodes with guests that have come on and are doing very, very great things in the wholesaling side of real estate. So just look it up and listen to one of our prior episodes, and they'll give a more in-depth detail on what wholesaling is, right? So anyways, I'm jumping into wholesaling, and I joined together with some of my friends. So we're making it a kind of a group thing. I got two other partners. Shout out to Jamil and Mike, right? And we're starting at it, right? So we're working out of Savannah, and we're working out of South Florida, right? So starting this journey, we started it about a week and a half ago, about 2 weeks ago, maybe. And we started, kind of putting the plan in motion. Prior to that, we heard about this conference that was put on by, Bill Allen and the 7-Figure Flippers. It's called Flip Hacking Live, right? And it was down in Orlando. So that was pretty much the starting place. Me and my team, we decided that we needed to go to that event, and we heard so much great things about it from some of the other friends that I have that have been to that conference before. So we went and checked it out, and we figured, hey, this would be the best time to start this off. We can meet some new people. We can hear from some great individuals, right? Great speakers. Some of the speakers have been on this podcast several times before, Adam Whitney and Dave Perret. And some of them that were on stage at this Flip Hacking Live concert or conference are going to be on our podcast. Are going to be new guests on our podcast, right? So looking forward to those. But we went to this conference, and it was absolutely amazing, dude. The Flip Hacking Live conference, I can't say enough great things about it. It was just nonstop gold, right? Nonstop value added. Every speaker just brought it. They gave out their exact blueprints of what they were doing and how anyone could essentially replicate what they were doing, right? So they gave out the goods, they gave out the good information, and went and took that, and on our breaks, on the intermissions and on the lunch breaks. And then when everything was done, I went back up to the hotel, and we got to work, right? Me and my team, we got to work and started immediately implementing some of those strategies. So in this episode, right, I wanted to share with you that this is a new journey for myself, starting off wholesaling or getting back into wholesaling, right? Going full swing with that. Two, I'm going to be documenting the journey. So every week there'll be a new episode. Every week, or maybe a week and a half, there'll be a new episode, basically kind of telling you what's going on and trying to walk you through what's going on, so you guys can see this starting at its infancy stages, right? and see how it progresses, right? So, and then 3, the other part of this video is going to be some of the awesome people that I met, some of the old friends that I met. Again, a lot of them have been on the podcast before, and a lot of the new friends that I met. Some of them haven't been on the podcast, but will hopefully be on the podcast, right? So I'm going to share with you some of the highlights that I got from Flip Hacking Live. Through these little mini interviews that I did while I was there with some of the great people that I ran into, some of our old military cash flow friends, and some of our new military cash flow friends, right? So we're going to share that with you. And without further ado, here comes the mini interviews.
Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll kind of go into a few other things.
Yeah. Sounds good. Well, my name is Tyler Hart. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm a realtor, house flipper, wholesaler, kind of do it all in the real estate vein. Yeah, here at Flip Hacking Live, this is my second year. Just really excited to meet a bunch of people, learn some new things, and bring it home and make it happen in Milwaukee.
Nice. So what? This is your second time coming here. What have you gotten out of it so far? Like the second time that you're looking to add to your, I don't know, repertoire.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of interesting. My first time was last year during pandemic, so it was virtual. So it's just me and my business partner sitting in our office doing this together, and you have some connectivity with people, and you're learning from people and everything. But I think here, just the vibe is so you're with a ton of like-minded people that are going through the same challenges, having the same successes, but are all here to help, support, and learn from each other. And I think that's been I've been here for 3 hours, and the number of connections I've made already, and just that synchronicity that I found has just been amazing. So
excellent.
That's the one thing for sure.
What's going on, guys? It's Dan Wynn with Military Cashflow. We're here at Flip Hacking Live. I'm here with my friend Derek. We just literally met in the right as we were getting on the elevator. So we talk a lot about networking on the show and stuff. Hey, this is how you do it. So Derek, would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from? And then we'll get into a few other things.
Absolutely. So I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Moved all around from Louisville, Kentucky originally. Active duty Air Force for 12 years. Moved to Atlanta from Albuquerque, where I still invest and do some stuff in Atlanta and some other places as well. But yeah, still in the reserves and love real estate.
Awesome. So you've been in the game for a little while. We've been talking a little bit. So you've been in the game wholesaling. As you guys know, kind of starting to document my wholesaling journey, so I'm gonna be learning from awesome people like this. What if you had to give one piece of advice to any service members out there, or anybody in general who's trying to jump into wholesaling, kind of do what you're doing, what would that piece of advice be?
So the big thing is don't give up. So you're gonna run into so many obstacles that you're gonna be like, hey, does this even work? Am I doing the right thing? Just don't give up. You're going to find a path that works for you, that jives with you and what you're doing. So, explore some different options. Don't be afraid to fail. Put yourself out there and take action, learn. And then when you have those failures, just don't give up. Just keep pushing. You'll get that first deal and then several more after that.
So I'm Jason. I'm 21. I've been doing this for almost a year. I've been working at the shipyard for 2 years before, and I know I just left that W-2 job 6 months ago. Thanks to my buyer, wholesaling, doing 3 to 6 deals a month. So everything's been really blissful. So if looking to get into wholesale, I would just stay consistent at it and don't give up on it. I've been discouraged a lot throughout my experiences. So I want to say please don't give up on it. But my bad experiences taught me a lot, and I really did learn a lot from it.
Yeah, so Johnny Line, I'm active duty Air Force, stationed up in the Northern Virginia market, house flipper, virtual house flipper down in Panama City, Florida market right now, doing deals there, and keeping a couple as rentals and selling the rest, and still looking for multifamily as well too. So.
Nice. And we've been talking a lot offline over the last couple of weeks, so we knew we were going to come here, right? And what are you? Can you kind of tell people about what you're doing right now, projects you're working on right now?
Yeah, so we got a couple flips in motion. We got one that's closing, the 25th we're selling. Just picked up 2 this week while we're actually here. And closed on those, and 2 under construction right now. The guys are working those. So staying busy here, fine-tuning the business, taking a step back, looking on the market. We've been talking about hiring some of those things to bring on the acquisition manager and another administrative assistant for myself, just to kind of take myself out of the business and the market, just working on the market and making some tweaks on it to drive that lead generation. to kind of keep the deals flowing. That's the biggest piece.
Doing numbers, and growing and scaling. That's what it's all about, right?
Yes.
So it's good stuff, man. Hey, so since you've been on podcast since you were a fairly new guest, right? Do you have any other advice that maybe you would like to give to any of our service members out there, like that could help them along their journey?
Well, I say it's the same thing that I gave during the podcast, and it just got reinforced with Bill Allen's success presentation. Take action. If you want to be successful in life, you got to take action, and a mentor is going to make sure that you're taking action, practicing. Perfect practice makes perfect. Whereas that you're being able to take in and actually do those reps for those highly producing activities that you need to do to generate more income and generate more deals, and then having a mentor that's been there, done that to show you the way, I think is fail-proof.
So I think at that point in time, I had a lot of single-family buy and holds. I'd started doing some private lending, investing some as a passive investor in some multifamily, and doing a little bit of rehab and stuff as well. Since that time frame, I've kind of shifted, focusing more on being a general partner in larger multifamily deals. Just in the past few months, we've closed on a 100 unit in Tulsa, an 8 unit in Arlington, Texas, and under contract on another 75 unit right now. And so we still have a lot of the buy and hold, still doing a little bit of rehab, but just kind of as we scale, transitioning some of that strategy, selling off some of the smaller stuff and moving that equity into some larger deals.
So again, I think it all kind of goes back to a long legacy, right? So we just talked about, I think over the first like 6 years when you were on the podcast, we were talking about 6 years. And I think at that time you had got like 30 or 40 doors, something like that, right?
Yeah, we had about 15 buy and holds or so, and then the private lending and about 300 or so passively.
Exactly, through LPs, right?
That's right.
And now we're talking about 180 doors in the last year and a half since we last spoken.
That's right.
I mean, that's the power of real estate. That's the power of just staying on staying on glide path, staying with your goals, man. I just really I get so pumped up when I hear stuff like that. So if you can give any advice to someone out there listening, right, who's maybe on that path where you were at maybe 2 years ago or something, what's been like the critical piece to your success, or what advice would you give for someone else trying to get on that level?
I think the number one thing I would say is to get in the right room and the partnerships, right? So a couple of years ago, I think I probably talked about on the podcast, joining the War Room Mastermind that I did, in the groups like Military Cashflow. I've been in 7-figure runway. I'm now in the 7-figure multifamily group. And that's a big part of why I'm here today, even though, we're here at Flip Hacking Live, even though a lot of my focus is now on the multifamily side. There's so many people here, a lot of military guys and girls that I've met virtually working from England over the past couple of years. And I didn't want to miss the opportunity to be here. And some of those, a lot of those are the partners that I'm working with and stuff. So get in the right room, network, and build those relationships. And the 180 units or so that I've helped close in the past year, 6 months really, I'm not doing that by myself, right? It's through partnerships and working together. And if I can do it, you can do it too.
What's going on, guys? My name is Dan Wynn. I'm here with my buddy Mike. We sit right next to each other, and we talk about networking a lot. And a lot of this here at Flip Hacking Live, it's been all about networking, right? And this is one of those great things that we can do. Get some of our audience's story, or some of the audience's story. So, Mike, would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what you're doing in the real estate space?
A little bit about me. I've been a builder for 30 years. Been in real estate for the last 10 years, probably since 2008, so the last 12 years. I'm a 4th-degree black belt. Teach martial arts. I've been at the U.S. Open breaking. I flew a fighter jet. I do a lot of crazy stuff, so I'm the crazy guy.
You're flipping in the real estate space. You said you've been doing some development, and you've been in the game since 2008, right? That's right when the market kind of crashed as well. So I got a quick question. How was that getting into it as the real estate market was just kind of crumbling around that time?
That's a great question. So I was a builder, finished carpeting at a couple companies in the new construction space. And in 2008, it just stopped. We had nothing to do. And I had some good guys working for me, so I wanted to keep them busy. And then a couple of my real estate friends said, hey, listen, I got some houses for you. I got a $15,000 house. I got another one across the street for $15,000. I got a $20,000. I got a $30,000. And so I wanted to keep my guys busy, so I put them in there and fixed them up. And my objective was to fix them up and sell them in 5 years and make great money. So that's what I did. I put them in there just to keep them busy, keep them paid, keep their family fed. And I ended up with six or seven of them. And then they just started buying more, and I wasn't really anticipating it too, and I wanted to get back into the new construction. And so 11, 12, 13 started kicking back up, and I went back into it. And they had these houses that I bought and made triple net on the properties. I'm like, this is kind of cool. And then my son started wanting to flip. And then he goes, Dad, I want to partner up with you on flipping companies. So I'd say about 3 or 4 years ago, we started flipping. And we started off at 2, 3, 4 houses a year. Now we're at flipping, where I think we're flipping probably a 20 this year. We're going to be wholesaling 5. We wholesale 2 commercials, 192 unit storage facility.
What's going on, guys? Dan Wynn at Flip Hacking Live. I'm here with my buddy right here. Would you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you're doing, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, sure thing, Dan. My name is Richard Abreu. I invest in long-term rentals for the most part. We do an occasional flip here and there and want to get into short-term rentals. Primary markets are Fayetteville, North Carolina, and Central Florida, Kissimmee, Florida, and now we just got into St. Pete, Tampa area.
All right, so you're doing mainly buy and hold, right?
Correct.
But you also just mentioned, we were talking offline, you were saying you just started doing some Turo into that shared economy space, right? What tips do you have for somebody that's trying to start something like that, or trying to start anything with just buy and hold in general, especially the service members out there?
I'll start the first question, Turo. So Turo, we were looking for a way to pay for our liabilities, as they call it, right? Cars, everybody needs to drive a car. So we said, hey, how can we turn this liability into an asset? Started doing some research, found Turo. Now we're looking at additional platforms to put vehicles in. Right now we have 2 vehicles on there. And in 2 weeks, it's pretty much paid. All the vehicles, both vehicles are paid through December. So I think it's a great platform. As far as for advice to service members to get into long-term rentals or any kind of real estate investment, just take action, man. You're gonna mess up almost every freaking day, but just do it. You're gonna learn from your mistakes, and you just Charlie Mike, continue mission. You'll be fine. And you will not regret getting into real estate.
My name is Robert Shortsleeves. Everyone calls me Sleeves. Just retired out of the military. I'm a former PSYOP soldier. Doing deals in Fayetteville, North Carolina, right outside of Fort Bragg. At this point, we're doing anywhere between 5 to 10 wholesale deals a month. We by the end of this month, we'll have 24 units. And we're always looking for cash buyers. So if anyone's interested in buying in Fayetteville, North Carolina, go to shortsleevesrealestate.com and see if we can do some deals together.
Yo, that is absolutely crazy. Because if you guys watched that episode back when he first came on, you were pretty much just starting, and you were still in at that time.
I was.
And now, like, we fast forward, it's been maybe a year, right? And now you're talking about 5 to 10 deals a month.
Right.
Dude, that's wild, dude. The power of real estate and working the system. If you had a piece of advice that you could give, like knowing what you know now, going through that transition, speak to the soldiers out there that might want to do the same thing. What would that piece of advice be?
Yeah, so the one thing I'd probably leave y'all with is if you're on the fence with investing in some sort of mastermind or going to some of these larger events and learning from folks that do it all the time, I would say invest the money, use that reenlistment bonus, use that deployment money, and invest in education early. I, at one point, decided that I didn't want that. And then whenever I did start investing in education and listening into podcasts like Military Cashflow, it just blew up after that.
So a few of the speakers talk about networking a lot, but that's why we come to these events, right? We meet great people. Me and Travis had a couple conversations, and would you mind telling them about what you do, who you are, where you're from, what you're doing in the real estate space?
Sure. My name is Travis Hill. I'm an active duty Marine, engineer equipment officer, chief warrant officer, and stationed in Camp Pendleton, going on 18 years in our beloved Corps, and originally from Mesa, Arizona. And here, my first time here at Flip Hacking Live, and I'm primarily a buy and hold real estate investor, investing out of state, and have a myriad of different properties, commercial land in Arizona, LP syndications in Texas, short-term rentals here in Kissimmee, Florida, and single family in Milwaukee, and also some small multifamily, commercial multifamily in Cleveland.
It's excellent, man. So you're just fully diversified. You're still active. You said still active duty, right?
Correct.
Still active duty, fully diversified in different types of real estate investments. Really cool. What's your favorite type? I just want to know myself now.
Shoot, what's my favorite type? One that makes money.
That's kind of everything, though. That's not a fair answer.
I think that I like a nice, good quadplex. Something that's 4 single level, all side by side, nice little clover leaf. That's ideal.
All right, excellent. Okay, nice little quad. If you had one piece of advice or a couple pieces of advices to give to any of our service members out there that are they're trying to get to that level, they're trying to work on their first deal, trying to work towards their next deal, right? What would that piece of advice be?
Well, like any good military member, right, you got to have a bias for action. Take that action. Read your book, get your Rich Dad Poor Dad out of the way, get your Richest Man in Babylon out of the way, and then learn how to see opportunity. Find that opportunity and take that action.
What's going on, guys? Dan Will, Military Cashflow. I'm here with my buddy Vaughn. He was just on the stage, man. He just graced his presence. He was hitting us with the 2 claps, right?
What's going on? 2 claps, man. That's what it's all about.
So would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what you're doing in the real estate?
All right. So I'm born in Bahamas, raised in Florida, but I'm working in the Greenville, South Carolina market. Been there since '98, so that's what I call home. But ironically, we're back here in Orlando, so Central Florida. My parents live literally 30 minutes away, so we just opened the Central Florida market as one of our secondary markets. So.
Nice. And you're on stage talking about Deal Machine, how you're just crushing it with driving for dollars right now.
Absolutely.
For kind of a wholesaling newbie, right?
Yep.
How important do you think that is, and what advice could you give someone like myself or some any other service members out there trying to do kind of the same things?
Yeah, man. If you have time, and one of the things that we do when we start off, really the only thing that we have, unless you have a whole bunch of money sitting aside, is have time, right? So you got to put the work in. And if you're looking for a low-cost, simple, easy, and effective, tool to get started with, driving for dollars is it.
Driving for dollars. Yeah.
All it takes is time, and you got to have a car and a camera.
And you were telling us how you're crushing the deals. Like, can you just give us a quick synopsis, man? Because you were like, I just did 46 deals, and 36 of them were driving for dollars.
Yeah, man. So we year to date, so since January 1st, we've done 46 deals. And actually, we closed on one today, and we got 7 more closing next week. But as of today, make that 47. And out of those 47, 32 deals this year have been done for driving for dollars.
Man, I hope you got something out of those mini interviews that I did there. I had such a great time meeting with and interacting with, some of the people that I've only met online before. So this is the first time we actually met face to face, right? So these conferences are so awesome. And this is one of those things you get to network with other individuals, other like-minded individuals, and you get to nurture those relationships that you already have, right? So I strongly recommend that you go to next year's conference. As long as I'm not overseas or I'm not, don't have any other military obligation, I'll definitely be there. So hopefully I'll get to see you there next year, right? So it was an absolutely great conference. Like I said, I'll continue documenting my journey through wholesaling, letting you guys know what's going on. So hopefully it provides some value to you. If you have any questions about wholesaling, about how we're starting off, about what we're doing, let me know, man. Leave a comment below. And we'll make sure to answer those, or just reach out to me, man. I'm pretty accessible. If you write me on IG, write Military Cashflow, right? Write us on IG. We'll make sure to answer that. And we usually just do a voice message. So let us know how we can help you, right? And again, make sure you reach out to those all the guys that I did many interviews with, right? They can definitely help you out. Just let them know you heard about them through my video, and I'm sure they'll answer your questions for you. So other than that, I hope that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you share this with any other service members that might find it valuable, right? And lastly, join our Facebook group. Right, join the Military Cashflow Facebook group. All the people that I did many interviews with, they're all on the Facebook group. They're all in there interacting. So feel free to write anyone a message, right? And outside of that, this is Dan Wynn signing off.